Okay, so here we go. I took this all apart, 2 of them, and all the springs are out, and I got a bucket full of them. Placemats. I'm not going to take it apart. I've been sticking these little guys down inside here. I'm not necessarily going for a pattern, but just trying to get them in there the same thickness. So that whenever I go to turn this, it'll be... I do kind of like the idea of it being a little bit less on one side, but I can't seem to get these guys doubled without getting... Let's see, is there a little bit thinner of one? Just stick it right there. I do like the idea of, and I don't know, these little guys may not stay where I want them to stay. Alright, well, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some tape across that. I'm trying to decide if I need to put probably something like that. We'll try that out. This way if I go that way. Go that way too. Just want it to be as level as I can get it, or it's going to be a real pain in the rear to turn. It's going to be a real pain in the rear to pour some epoxy in there. Yeah, it probably will be a real pain in the rear. Nightmare. Yuck. Yuckly. Hard to be getting stuck to the little plastic. They're starting to heat up. So this one I am gonna use a glue block. This is a little piece of maple that I had just kind of knocking around my shop, and I trued it back up, and then I put a slight curve to it, because in the bottom of the bowl it just ever so slightly curves down. This is it, by the way. You know, the tricky part about doing the bowls inside the bowls for your molds is you've got to get on pretty good, or if you get off too much, you know, you're going to end up not being able to turn it. So I made my lines so I can hopefully be able to line up a little easier. Inside of this had a little issue. I ended up putting some UV resin in it, and I didn't show that part. I apologize. And I really didn't get it filled up all the way, but I thought, you know, what are you going to do? You're going to end up not level anyway, potentially, unless I filled it all the way up, which probably is what I should have done. Because I do see a few little air bubbles down there that could end up being a problem. You know, I may incorporate this as the base, and if that happens, then hopefully I will have enough glue stuck everywhere. So just measuring up again. The tricky part is once I put this up with the glue, I will lose sight of my lines potentially and not have it completely centered, which is going to be not so good. But anyway, I did sand up the bottom of this, so it will take, I'm just going to use 5-minute epoxy to glue it on with. I am real quick going to put a few grooves in this, so also the epoxy will have something to hold on to. I am going to add a little bit of the blue mica powder in case I end up leaving this incorporated and it has something maybe to tie in with the blue on the rim. So let me go ahead and I'll cut these grooves, and then you can watch some of the process of me gluing it up. I'll probably let it set for a couple of hours to make sure it has plenty of time to set. Also, I did not show it, but I did have some drop off. So I had a lighter, clearer color, and then I did a second pour of a blue. I guess I should have explained that with it. So, you know, it's going to have kind of a, it's not going to be a solid, because I think I can tell I'm shorter over here than I am over there. But anyway, we're going to see if we can make it look pretty. Just so it has something to grip onto, and that epoxy can get down in it. Okay, so I've let it set for several hours to make sure it's good and set up. Back my tailstock off. Give it a little wobble. Yeah, pretty good. So I'm going to get to spinning on this, and we'll see what kind of shape we won't have a whole lot of choices on the shape, but we'll see what we're going to look like when I get done with it. Alright, I'm not too worried about down in here quite yet. I do see some little bits of air bubbles, so I probably will have to stop and do this again. But for me to get my sides cleaned up a little better, I need to go ahead and address these guys in here. So the fastest way to do that is going to be using my UV resin from Resin. Let's see, what color do we want to use? Probably the blue. Even though I'm getting down in here where I'm a little clearer. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with the blue. I think it'll be okay. Let me get a toothpick and clean out some of these holes a little better to make sure that this is gonna go down in here. Yeah, this kind of, even though I put it in the pressure pot, these little pieces of wood, they are just chock full of air. And then when you've got so many things stacked around them, you know, them all together, you're just going to catch those air bubbles. Sometimes it's impossible not to have air bubbles when you're dealing with things like this. These two guys here. Like I said, I want to. Quick little catch on that just to get it firmed up so I can move on to the next spots. And then after I get all my spots filled, I will set my UV lamp down on it and probably 5 minutes or something.
let's put some sanding sealer on her. Okay, let's do some sanding paste. Oh, here she is. She's pretty cute. Cute little bowl. It is a little different. I don't know if you remember, I did what I called the placemat bowl. This is, of course, the same pieces of wood from the placemat. But those were more this way. So we got a different look to them. So I still got into where the strings went through. Just kind of gives it a unique pattern, I think. I like the idea that I went ahead and put the 5-minute epoxy blue. It's close enough, you know, from just to add that extra little something. Pretty quick and easy little turn. The negative thing about doing the bowl within the bowl, the positive thing, we should start out with that, is you're going to save epoxy. The negative thing about it is you're limited on what kind of shape you can do. You're not going to get a whole big different shape than what the, you know, two bowls were. You know, being able to add the extra piece of wood onto the bottom made a difference to help, you know, with adding extra shape to it. So, and of course the Let's Resin UV resin came to the rescue again this time. It worked out great to fill all the little air holes, which I had expected was going to be a problem, especially after the placemat bowls. And you know, when you get down into these, that epoxy isn't always going to travel, and then this kind of wood probably has a little more air to it, which would produce little air bubbles. I mean, there's a couple little spots down in here, and there is this little, I believe that is from the, whenever I had to do the second pour, which I didn't show, I apologize for that, and decided to go with a blue rim because this wood had absorbed so much of the epoxy, and I didn't think about it doing that. But I believe that is, I couldn't get down in between there to sand or do anything with the second pour. So, you know, I worked to try to get that out, and it isn't going to come, and so it's all along that rim from the blue. I mean, it doesn't bother me a lot. Well, evidently it does, or I wouldn't be talking about it. But, and then you can see tiny little micro bubbles, and I don't know if you guys can even see them. And I'm going to guess that is what this is. So, anyway, if you guys are interested in any of the Let's Resin products, jump on down to my description below and click that link and use the Vicky10 to get that 10% discount, and I will get a small commission for anything you purchase through my link. You have to go through my link and use my discount code. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. If you haven't subscribed yet, jump on in and subscribe. It's free. Leave me a comment and you'll be entered in for my next giveaway. When that happens, I'm still waiting for some more subscribers, some more of you to subscribe so we can have another giveaway. And don't forget to share with the friends and family. That helps me grow my channel. Again, I want to say thank you so much for stopping by and spending your time with me. I want you guys to have a great day. I'm going to throw her in the picture box, and we're going to see you on the flip side.